The episode starts on the eve of Halloween with our young lead characters, Carly, Beth, and Sabrina. These primary school friends wander around their neighborhood in the chill autumn twilight, eagerly anticipating the thrilling night of Halloween that lies ahead. The two are on a mission to find the perfect pumpkin to complete their holiday celebration. As they walk through their neighborhood, they stumble upon a mysterious new shop they haven't noticed before. The shop is filled with creepy, chilling Halloween masks that seem to stare at them from the window. Carly Beth is instantly drawn to these eerie masks, their chilling faces intriguing her, but Sabrina is more skeptical, dismissing the store and urging Carly Beth to continue their search for the perfect pumpkin. As we follow their adventure, it becomes clear that Carly Beth is easily frightened. Shadows dancing in the corners of her eyes, the sound of footsteps echoing in the empty street. These ordinary things send a shiver down her spine. It seems Carly Beth's world is filled with a multitude of fears that leap out at her from every corner. Eventually, the two friends find the pumpkin they've been searching for. Just as they're about to celebrate their find, their schoolmates Chuck and Steve pull a classic Halloween prank. Hiding beneath the pumpkin, they jump out and scare Carly Beth, making her jump in, further highlighting her fearful and easily scared nature. This moment sets the tone for the thrilling, creepy adventure that awaits them in the unfolding story. After the Halloween prank, Carly Beth heads home, her heart still racing from the scare. At home, she finds her mom, who's made a special surprise for her, a mask. This mask is not your average Halloween mask. It is special. It's a beautiful creation that looks just like Carly Beth. Carly Beth thanks her mom, and though she agrees the mask is cute, she whispers to herself that cute's not what she wants for Halloween. She wants to be scary, not cute. But then something strange happens. Carly Beth thinks that the mask laughed at her. She tells her mom about it, but her mom just laughs it off. She thinks Carly Beth is just seeing things because it's Halloween. Along with the mask, Carly Beth's mom also reveals she's bought the duck costume Carly Beth had talked about wanting to wear before. As Carly Beth leaves the mask and goes to her room, we see something chilling. The mask seems to smile as if it's alive, which is very, very creepy. When Carly Beth gets to her room, she finds her brother there, wearing the duck costume. And guess what? It scares her. This further shows us just how easily frightened Carly Beth is. Everything from a mask that looks like her to a duck costume scares her. We can't help but wonder how she will deal with the spooky adventures that Halloween night is sure to bring. The next day at school is no easier for Carly Beth. Chuck and Steve, the school pranksters, bring a talking pumpkin to school. As you might guess, it scares Carly Beth, who jumps in fright, seeing her reaction. Chuck and Steve seem to feel a bit bad. They decide to apologize to Carly Beth for the scary trick they pulled on her the night before. Carly Beth is surprised by their apology. She doesn't expect them to feel sorry for what they did, but as she's trying to make sense of it all, they pull another prank on her. This time they sneak a worm into her sandwich. Carly Beth doesn't see them do it, so she keeps eating her sandwich, clueless about the icky surprise awaiting her. Suddenly she bites into the worm. The taste, the feeling, sending a wave of fear and disgust through her body. Carly Beth is not just scared now, she's also embarrassed. The whole school is laughing at her. She's had enough as she's tired of being the butt of Chuck and Steve's jokes, with sadness and desperation written all over her face. Carly Beth leaves the school. Feeling hurt and upset, Carly Beth heads home from school. Tears stream down her cheeks as she thinks about all the pranks and jokes that Chuck and Steve played on her. She feels like they've turned her into a toy they can laugh at. And she's had enough. She bursts into her room, her eyes falling upon the duck costume her mom purchased for her. Its design is meant to inspire delight, yet it only fuels her frustration. With determined fury, she takes to dismantling and shredding the garment, rejecting the image of cuteness it imposes. She refuses to be cute and craves an aura of fear, a terrifying costume that would force Chuck and Steve to experience the same feelings she endured. Fired up with a new sense of determination, Carly Beth grabs some money and heads straight into the novelty shop she saw the other day. The shop that sells those creepy masks. She's on a mission to acquire the most frightening one available and turn the tables on Chuck and Steve. No longer their playthings, she intends to give them a taste of their own medicine. With this plan in mind, Carly Beth steps into the novelty shop ready to find her weapon of revenge. Carly Beth steps into the novelty shop, her eyes wide as she looks around. After a few moments, she finds the man who runs the shop. He tells her the shop is closing, but Carly Beth pleads with him. She tells him she needs a scary mask for Halloween and it's really important. Moved by her desperation, the shop owner gives her 5 minutes to find something. As he steps away to make some business calls, Carly Beth explores the shop. She walks deeper into the shop, finding herself in what looks like a strange, creepy chemistry lab. It's filled with masks, but not just any masks. These masks look like real monsters. They're the scariest things Carly Beth has ever seen. As she stares at these creepy masks, the shop owner comes back, finding Carly Beth in the lab surrounded by the monstrous masks. Carly Beth quickly apologizes as she didn't mean to wander into his lab. But as she's talking to the shop owner, something weird happens. The masks appear to gaze at Carly Beth, their eyes eerily tracking her movements as if they possess a life of their own. It's as if they're observing her, anticipating her next move. The creepy realism of the mask sends a shiver coursing down her spine, but she swiftly brushes aside the unsettling sensation. She's on a mission and won't depart without a mask in her possession. The shop owner informs Carly Beth that she's ventured into an off-limits area, gesturing towards the masks and declaring them not for sale. But Carly Beth pleads with him, telling him about the torment of Chuck and Steve's relentless pranks. She expresses her desire for an exceedingly terrifying mask, aiming to instill in them the fear they've so often subjected her to. Despite her pleas, the man remains unmoved, refusing to sell her any of the masks. Disappointment washes over Carly Beth, but she doesn't give up. Among the forbidden masks, one in particular grasped her attention. It is by far the most terrifying of the lot. It's just perfect for her plan. At that moment, Carly Beth makes a bold decision, swiftly grabbing the mask and running out of the shop, not pausing for the shopkeeper's response. Holding the mask tightly in her grip, she races away. Now in possession of her desired mask, she prepared to give Chuck and Steve a taste of authentic fear. Returning home, Carly Beth carries the chilling mask. She heads to her home and tries it on. The fit is impeccable and it's as terrifying as she had imagined. Her Halloween night scheme is coming together. On Halloween night, she chooses to wear a shadowy costume to complement her new mask. Leaving the cute duck costume her mom had chosen for her, tonight she rejects any hint of cuteness. She aims for frightfulness. Mask secured and outfit hugging her just right, Carly Beth exits her room. She manages to scare her brother as she passes him. Then, making her way to the living room, she spots the mask her mom crafted for her, an odd replica of her own face. She retrieves it, taking it along. Bidding her mom goodbye, she takes care to hide her costume and mask. She's not prepared for her mom to see just yet. Heart filled with thrill, she sets off towards her friend Sabrina's house. As she strides down the street, her new costume sends shivers down the spines of passerby. The power to evoke fear feels liberating. Two figures catch her eye in the distance. Assuming them to be Chuck and Steve, she decides to give them a frightful surprise. With a sudden leap, she succeeds in making them immersed in terror. To her surprise, they're not Chuck and Steve, just two kids reveling in the Halloween spirit. But this doesn't lower Carly Beth's determination. She's aware of her true targets, Chuck and Steve, lurking somewhere in the night, and she's more than ready for them. Next, Carly Beth meets up with her friend Sabrina. Sabrina takes one look at Carly Beth's mask and says it's too scary. But Carly Beth shrugs off her friend's worry as she's on a mission tonight. Together, they go to a nearby house to join in the Halloween fun. There are children there laughing and playing, but when Carly Beth shows up in her mask, the laughter stops. The children are scared, their eyes wide with fear. The mom of the house sees what's going on and quickly shuts the door on Carly Beth and Sabrina, asking them to leave. Sabrina's a little shaken by the incident. She looks at Carly Beth and sees that her friend seems different somehow. Carly Beth isn't usually the one to scare people, she's the one who gets scared. But tonight it's like she's a different person. Sabrina tries to talk to Carly Beth about it, but Carly Beth dismisses her worries. She has a mission tonight and she can't let anything distract her. With a determined look on her face, Carly Beth leaves Sabrina and goes off on her own. She's still looking for Chuck and Steve, and she won't stop until she finds them. Somewhere else in town, Chuck and Steve are busy pretending to be pirate treasure hunters. They're getting into the Halloween spirit, going from house to house, lost in their own adventure. Eventually, they decide to do something really daring. They head to the cemetery. It's a scary place, especially on Halloween night, but they're excited about it. Meanwhile, Carly Beth is having a blast scaring all the children around with her spooky mask. She's enjoying being the one doing the scaring. Soon she ends up near the cemetery. She hears the familiar voices of Chuck and Steve. This is her chance. She creeps into the cemetery ready to give them a scare they will never forget. She finds them and jumps out, giving them the fright of their lives. When she then shows them the mask she's holding, the one that looks like Carly Beth, she tells them to say sorry to the mask. The mask represents Carly Beth, the girl they always laughed at and scared. Chuck and Steve are so scared they do what she says, apologizing to the mask. But then something unexpected happens. The mask, the one that looks like Carly Beth, speaks. It says, "Help me." It's a shocking moment that leaves Chuck and Steve and even Carly Beth terrified. Frightened, Chuck and Steve run away as fast as they can, leaving Carly Beth alone in the cemetery. She buries the mask that looks like her as if to say goodbye to the old, scared Carly Beth. She's a new Carly Beth now, one who isn't afraid. Feeling happy and victorious, Carly Beth leaves the cemetery. She's jumping and laughing, enjoying the thrill of her successful plan. She's finally shown Chuck and Steve what it feels like to be scared. Tonight, Carly Beth is the one laughing. As Carly Beth heads home, she runs into Sabrina. Excited, she tells her about the success of her plan, how she found Chuck and Steve and scared them. Satisfied with her night's work, Carly Beth and Sabrina head towards Sabrina's house. After a while, Carly Beth decides she's had enough of the mask. But when she tries to take it off, it won't come off. Even her eyes have changed. This freaks her out and she leaves Sabrina's house, rushing off to the novelty shop for help. When she arrives back at the shop, the owner is there waiting. He informs her he cannot assist in removing the mask, explaining it's not a mask, but an actual face. He describes how the face was once beautiful, but decay, ugliness, and monstrosity have crept in over time. He attempted to prevent it, but to no avail. At first, Carly Beth doesn't believe him. The owner shares that he refers to those faces as the unloved ones, devoid of affection from anyone until Carly Beth. She objects, asserting she doesn't adore the face, she wants it gone. However, he urges her to look into the mirror, declaring this to be her face now. Tears spill from Carly Beth's eyes. The man suggests that a symbol of love is the only thing capable of dislodging these masks. The man confesses that he's made these faces to hide his terrible thoughts. However, these thoughts seeped into the faces and turned them into real monsters, making the faces very ugly. Unexpectedly, the masks in the shop spring to life, floating in midair, gravitating towards Carly Beth, urging her to join them. Terrified, Carly Beth runs back to the graveyard where she buried the look-alike mask her mom made. She digs it up as the ghostly masks surround her. She holds up her own mask to them, making the scary faces disappear. And she's finally able to take the mask off of her face. Examining her own mask, she notices it's somewhat damaged. It's at this moment she understands what the shop owner meant by a symbol of love. Her own mask, the one that represents her mother's love for her, sacrificed itself for her. Feeling a sense of relief, she rushes back home, hugging her mother, expressing her deep love. When her mom questions where she's been, she casually mentions having an odd night, but quickly reassures her that it's all over now. In a final twist, the episode ends with her brother stepping into the room, wearing the same spooky mask that Carly Beth just took off. suggesting more thrilling adventures coming up in the next episodes. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell. We'll see you in the next video.